Alright everybody, welcome to Off the Mat Wrestling episode 25. This is Terry Walker with you as always. Today's topic is going to be tag team wrestling. It's going to be about the Divas, and I'm going to answer a few questions that I've had in my email, so here we go. Alright, on the first subject I have, hey Terry, what is the status of the Brock Lesnar versus Triple H storyline? Honestly, I couldn't tell you what's going on with that. I mean, they are tied 1-1. They are meeting at Extreme Rules in Steel Cage. But, I mean, having Brock come back and then give him, I think he's making $80,000 a week, which is outrageous. And he hardly even does any work or anything else. Shows up, does a few promos, and then has the match once a month. I mean, that's really nothing. So I think he's being overpaid, and back in the day, Lesnar was a beast. His first run in WWE, he was huge. I mean, beat The Rock for the title, went to wars with Big Show, Angle. I mean, his match with Angle at Mania was amazing. So, I mean, him to come back and face Triple H like they're doing, I mean, I get it, Triple H needs a big, high-caliber person to even carry his career anymore since he went office. I mean, I'm a Triple H fan, but I think if you're going to retire, retire. I don't like the fact that he came out of retirement last time they fought for a retirement match. But, I mean, Brock Lesnar, you know, he's Brock Lesnar. And Triple H is Triple H. So, I mean, he married into money. He can do whatever the fuck he wants with the company. So, honestly, all I can say is we'll see what happens. That's really all else I can say. Alright, next question is from Keon Easterlin. My brother from another mother. Hey Terry, who do you think is the best European champion of all time? Ooh, well, let me think here. I would say, I have to say William Regal. I mean, the man's been around for 20 years and change, I think. I mean, WCW, WWF, WWE. So, I mean, he's been around for like ever, and when he had the European title, I'd say he carried it. I mean, being from London himself, or Blackpool, England, sorry, William Regal. I think he carried the European title good, defended it, and got some pretty good technical matches, some even barbaric matches, ladder match with Jericho. I mean, you know, being from Europe and then becoming the European champion, he did pretty damn good. So, I mean, that works. But, yeah, Keon, that would be my say, would be either William Regal, I mean, there's been numerous good European champions. I don't know why they got rid of the title, but now I can understand why, because the Intercontinental and U.S. title are so watered down, it's like they don't even matter. But if I had to say anyone besides William Regal, I would definitely say Owen Hart, the British Bulldog. Michaels had it for a while. I mean, there were some really good people that had that title that WWE just didn't do anything with the belt afterwards. So, I mean, that's my question to that. So, Keon, thank you. Give the thumbs up. That was a good question. And moving on. Hey, Terry, if you could bring back one tag team. Yeah, if you can bring. You know how to spell. If you can bring back one tag team to go against Team Hell No, who would it be? Well, I'm going to have to mix non-living and living for this one, but if I was going to have any team face Team Hell No in like the dream tag team match, I would have to say the Road Warriors. I think with Daniel Bryan's speed, technical ability, Kane's power, the Road Warriors having the fan base, having the experience, I mean, I understand Hawk's deceased and God rest his soul. I think that would have been one hell of a team match. You know, if I'm going to say where both members of the team are alive, I would like to see the Hardys go back to WWE and take on Team Hell No. I think that'd be pretty good. That would be a good tag team right there. Alright, moving on to the next question. Dear Terry, what tag team do you think should be pushed? Like I said, today's topic is a lot about tag team wrestling. Well, if I had to choose a tag team that I think is underrated and pushed, I mean not pushed, but needs to be pushed, I would have to say the Usos. And I know that's going to do a lot of heat and generate me some heat because a lot of people are against the Usos. And I know WWE has a problem with the Samoans because of money being held up. I know back in the day after watching Legends of Wrestling, a comment was made to Jimmy Superfly Snuka, and they had more than 500 Samoans outside WWE headquarters within the next week. So I mean, I couldn't tell you what's going on, but I definitely believe the Usos deserve to be pushed as the tag team champions and get them off NXT. I mean, they've already been on SmackDown and Raw. They've showed they have what it takes. I don't know why Vince won't pull his thumb out of his ass and just stick them, and actually give them a time to shine. I mean, come on. Back in the Attitude Era, you had Too Cool, which, nothing against them. You had them shine. You had Viscera and Mideon. I mean, there's been so many tag teams over the years, and look at WWE tag teams now. You have primetime players, you have the New Age Outlaws, or as I call them now, nothing against Jesse, I've met him personally, he's a great guy. The Old Age Outlaws. But, I mean, there's other tag teams you could bring back too. The Dudley's contract, even though Bubba is in TNA, his contract is coming to a close in April. And it's all over his Twitter that he's thinking about re-signing with WWE, which, we'll see what happens. But even the Dudley's coming back to face on, that'll be good. There's so much stuff they could do with tag team wrestling that they're just letting it fail. And it goes to show just what they're doing with the Divas division. So you brought back the Bella Twins. Who cares? The Bella Twins have no talent, have no experience. I think a 5-year-old could out-wrestle them. They're just decent-looking women that's brought in to be eye candy, and that's all it is. Now, with that being said, I'm going to get to my next question because that has to do a lot with the Divas. This is coming from Aaron Rift. Aaron from No DQ. Talked to him personally. He's a pretty good friend. Hey Terry, you've heard my opinions of the Divas division. I just want to know, who would you bring back and what would you do to change the failing Divas division? Alright, well, I definitely would get rid of the Bella Twins because saying they're able to wrestle is just a joke. I mean, it's like you just seen, haha, they're pathetic. Definitely have longer matches. I mean, these Divas matches aren't lasting more than, 2-3 minutes at the max. So, it just don't make any sense for that to happen. Kelly was a decent wrestler, but she was just more to try to get fame and move on. If I wanted to see wrestlers come back that could actually wrestle, I understand Trish Stratus is pregnant, but I'd like to see her back in the ring. I would say Stratus, Lita, Jazz, Chyna, Miss Jackie. I mean, even TNA's women division is beating the living fuck out of WWE, and that's not saying much because TNA's division used to be great with Angelina Love and all them. And I understand they got Mickie James, but I mean, that was definitely WWE's fuck up letting Mickie go. But I mean, that's a failing division, and WWE's is just horrible. I'd bring back Karma. I mean, she was a big bitch, but I mean, she get it done. Gail Kim. WWE needs to find wrestlers that are women that, can wrestle. Natalya Neidhart. Get her off Great Khali's Ding Dong and let the woman wrestle. She's a great wrestler. Beth Phoenix. There's a lot of people they could bring in. I mean, Ric Flair's daughter's wrestling. There's so many things they can do with this division, but instead they hire Barbie dolls and models that are only there for fame and can't wrestle a broomstick. I mean, yeah, that's my answer for that, Aaron. It just, WWE needs to bring back better people, or at least get better female wrestlers. Because pushing AJ as this crazy nutball, she's not, I'd say not top of the division. I mean, Tamika, I can't pronounce her name right. She could definitely carry the women's title in women's division, but they just won't let her do it. And it goes back to Samoan heritage and the problems in WWE with the Samoans. I mean, it's just not right. Alright, moving on. This is from Chris Goodchild, my cousin. Hey bro, what do you think of The Rock's title reign? Wow, you know, I grew up with the Attitude Era. I grew up watching The Rock face people. I watched him from Rocky Maivia to Nation of Domination to Corporation, his matches with Mankind, the I Quit match at the Rumble. I mean, I watched all that. So, I mean, coming from a Rock fan, I was glad to see him come back. I was glad when he came back all the other times. He came back to help, came back to help Mick Foley. I was really happy to see him back, but, you know, they had him beat CM Punk at the Rumble. Hey, you know, I was happy. But I really thought he was coming back as a defending champion. And instead he did, what was it, one Raw a month and defended his title. I mean, if you're going to put the belt on him, he should have been there. He should have competed on Raw. He should have competed on SmackDown. He should have been a fighting champion. Instead, he was Mr. Hollywood making movies. And that lost a lot of respect for me for The Rock, because you can't be a champion and not want to fight. You can't be a champion and just show up here and there. So, I mean, I'm still a member of Team Bring It. You know, I still like The Rock, but I did not like his last title run at all. And then he splits his balls in two, facing Cena at Mania. So, I mean, Team Bring It, yeah, but, you know, maybe some people have a point. It might just be, I bring it via satellite anymore. He got the title and didn't even want to show up. So, I mean, Chris, that's my answer for that. Alright, moving on for Off the Mat Wrestling, we have a question that has some kind of controversy to it. Hey Terry, what is your opinion of indie companies such as Ring of Honor, CZW, which is Combat Zone Wrestling, you know, other independent companies? Do you think that Dragon Gate USA included, do you think, wow, you didn't know how to reword this. Do you think that they have what it takes to get moved up to the roster? If you watch Ring of Honor, Dragon Gate USA, All Japan Pro Wrestling, shit, I mean, Florida Championship Wrestling, even though it is for WWE, there is so much talent they could take there and mingle together, and WWE would knock any other company out of the ballpark. I mean, they've signed Chris Hero, they've signed El Generico, and that's amazing, dude. I mean, they talk about signing Kevin Steen. Ring of Honor, if you want to see less drama, less talking, less girly parts and shit like that, watch Ring of Honor. I mean, that's wrestling at its core. That is wrestling to where the fans will get involved because it is wrestling. So indie companies in wrestling, I'm all for it. I stand for indie wrestling. Alright, moving on. Hey Terry, what was your thoughts of Undertaker beating CM Punk this year, and when do you think he will have the streak broken, and by who? I thought the streak was good. I mean, I thought, you know, 20-0, that's pretty good. Now it's 21-0. I didn't want to see CM Punk beat him, and I like CM Punk. He's, you know, like I said, he came up from the indies. Shit, I used to watch him wrestle in myself. Illinois at the Flamingo Center for RCW. Great matches against Acid, a lot of people, Ace Shepherd, all them. I don't know who I'd say beat him. I would want to see a younger guy that was coming in, beat him, and, you know, that deserves a push. I know Taker stated in interviews he wants no one more than Ted DiBiase Jr. to do it. He believes in him. He thinks he should definitely get a push. So that's a good thing coming from Undertaker to say who he wants to beat him. And, you know, DiBiase hasn't been around in a while. But that's all for today. That's all my questions. I will get back to you guys later. This is Terry Walker with Off the Mat Wrestling, and I'm telling you all to have a good day, and, you know, just watch wrestling and send me some questions, some emails, and get back to me.